My name is Natalie. I am 35 years old. Every year, I buy high-end Valentine's Day chocolates and send them to myself as a treat. This is a story of why I started treating myself. This is something that happened 5 years ago. At the time, I was concerned about my husband Thomas, who I had married 3 years earlier. Even when we were dating, he wasn't very good at communicating, especially over the phone. He was the type who would keep texts and calls strictly business. But nowadays, he takes his cell phone with him every time he goes to the bathroom. To make things clear, he doesn't play games on his phone. I don't think he's the type to randomly net surf either. In general, he's not very good with technology, even when they gave him a laptop at work. He went to a special class to learn how to use it. My husband is 4 years older than me, and in school he didn't have many opportunities to use computers. So he really is useless when it comes to machines or IT. So when a guy like that begins taking his cell phone with him into the bathroom, I can't help but notice. Well, maybe he's gotten used to his cell phone and started using it to play games, read books, or watch videos. But since he never looks at his phone while he's around me, it made an impression. If he was reading books or watching videos on his phone, wouldn't he do that in the living room during his free time as well? Could he be cheating? But a guy like him? Since we got married, he's really let himself go. Glazing over at his belly, I decided that was no way he was cheating. Though I was still feeling a bit conflicted, our 3rd wedding anniversary came. Anniversaries really are special and happy days. I thought we would have a nice dinner and share our memories of each other. Before he left for work, I told Thomas, "Today is our anniversary, so I will treat you tonight. Be sure to come home from work quickly." I bought a nice bottle of champagne, cooked a fancy meal, and ordered a cake from a bakery I liked. I waited for Thomas to come home, and waited and waited and waited some more. I decided I would take a bath while I waited, and noticed that it was already midnight. I told him to come home early, but the day was already over. I got a bit worried, wondering whether something had happened. Honestly, something that really bothered me about my husband was the fact that he wouldn't at least text me to keep me updated. Even when he's going to be home late from work, he never lets me know. But this is the first time he does this, after promising to come home early. I was worried. But right as I picked up my phone to call him, I heard the front door unlocked. I rushed to the door and saw that his shirt was strangely wrinkled. "Welcome home." "Oh, were you asleep?"
What do you mean, was I asleep? Of course not.
"Didn't I tell you? It's our anniversary today." I stared at my husband, feeling a little flustered.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot."
Right. I don't even care anymore.
"I'm sorry. There was some trouble at work, so I was stuck in the office."
I've said this to you before, but if you were going to be late, can't you at least text me? Oh no, I don't want to fight on our anniversary, but I took time to cook and prepare everything, so I should be allowed to at least complain, right? On one side, I want to calm down. On the other, I want to explode. But also, it's late, so I want to go sleep.
"I'm really sorry. I will make this up to you."
My husband apologized and hugged me many times. "You seem to be sorry." So, since you had trouble at work, I will let you go. You should be grateful that I'm so forgiving. I said that. I looked my husband in the eyes. I prepared a change of clothes for you. So go washed up. I urged him.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
My husband quickly took his shoes off and headed to the bathroom. At that moment, I noticed a harsh aroma. Was it that? It's sort of like an airport duty-free store. If it was weaker, it would be nice. But since it's too strong, the scent seems very heavy. Feeling a bit strange, I checked the t-shirt my husband had taken off before entering the shower. When he entered the house, I also noticed how wrinkled his dress shirt was. He just does desk work. So what kind of trouble could have happened at his office? The smell of a duty-free store. It's like the smell of a luxury brand perfume. A sour smell was coming from his socks. So there was a festival of bad smell outside of the bathroom around his dirty clothes. Before you get out of the shower, be sure to wash your feet. I called to my husband through the bathroom door.
Oh, did they smell?
He asked. Yeah, you got home late. So today it was pretty bad. I left the alum water spray in the bathroom. So use it once you are done washing up.
Okay.
My husband seemed surprised at my reply. He was talking and acting the same as always. But the perfume smell bothered me. Could he have met up with a woman on the day of our anniversary? Thinking about it recently, he's been coming home late pretty often days. Usually not as late as tonight. But still, even though his feet smell and he has a little beer belly, there are probably other reasons why a woman would be attracted to him. Since my husband was still in the bathroom, I decided to secretly check his phone. Since he's not good with technology, I knew he didn't have a password on his phone, so I could check it easily. Bingo. He really had a lover. In his phone, I found text messages he exchanged with a woman named Jill. He's not the type that text, so I can't say he texted her often. But he would message her to plan when they would meet. So he definitely texted her more than me. My fist clenched. He met her today too. After they met up today, Jill texted him. Today was amazing. So the reason his shirt was so wrinkled, they must have slept with each other, leaving me alone in our anniversary to do this. Rather than feeling sad, I felt angry, and that I wanted to kick him out of my life. Looking back on their messages, I saw that for their 3-month anniversary, he promised to take Jill to a brand new fancy French restaurant. Oh, I haven't even been there. I guess I will have to do something about this. Using my phone, I took photos of their text and picture together. Even though Thomas isn't great with his phone, if I just forward the messages and images, he might find out somehow. So I decided this was safer. 2 weeks later, it was Jill and my husband's much-awaited 3-month anniversary. Not knowing that I had found out everything, my husband said to me, "I'll be late tonight," and left the house to go to work. Yeah, sounds good. I won't be home either. Well then, darling, I'll see you later. 8 p.m. My husband and Jill got out of their taxi. In order to watch them, I got to the French restaurant 30 minutes before they planned to arrive. You're finally here, I said to myself as I followed them. Stop, I just said as they were about to enter the restaurant. Huh? My husband and Jill turned around. At the moment, My husband's face went pale.
Natalie?
Yes, it's me. Natalie.
What are you doing here?
Thomas?
Jill looked between my husband and I.
Huh? Could this be your wife?
She asked Thomas.
Jill looked at me as if she had won, which made me even more angry.
She was even more beautiful than in the photos.
I was a little overwhelmed, but I wasn't ready to lose.
This is a fight between two women.
I'm Thomas' girlfriend. Nice to meet you, wife.
Thomas seemed shocked by the way Jill was acting. Jill, wait. Calm down, Natalie. This isn't what you think it is.
It's fine.
You'll be treating her to a French dinner, right? For your anniversary.
Let me join.
I pressured him with my smile and stepped into the restaurant.
I might as well take advantage of this and have my husband buy me a nice meal.
That woman and I. Well, Jill and I sat down with Thomas at a table, and our hellish dinner began.
Jill, right? How did you meet my husband? What?
Jill seemed to be in a bad mood because I was bothering them during their anniversary. My mood, on the other hand, got better the more she got annoyed. My husband was on edge. It was funny watching the two of them.
Tom and I dated before you two met. I know Tom way better than you.
Oh, so Tom dated both of us
at the same time, but chose to marry me.
Copying Jill and calling my husband Tom seemed to make him so stressed that he looked like he was holding on for dear life. Yes, Tom said in a strange voice.
Oh, really?
Well, I broke up with Jill first, but we met again because Jill happened to be working at the tailor I go to.
Ah, so you brought this upon yourself.
Looking at him with cold eyes, I saw how frightened my husband was of me.
Hey, what's your problem? Sorry, but I don't plan on breaking up with Tom. I finally got to meet him again. I was so shocked when he married you.
What the? I will break up with Jill.
If he said something like that, maybe I would think about a way out of this. But honestly, seeing how my husband looks right now, I was beginning to doubt the possibility of a future with him. It seems I have only one choice to make. I'm ready to give up everything to be with Tom. That's all I want,
Jill said while looking directly at me. And what do you think, Tom? I asked my husband. Thomas seemed afraid. Well, he replied with a wavering voice. It's okay. Just be honest, I said. Oh, well, is all he could reply.
Tom, you like me too, right? So please, break up with each other. Give him to me.
Thomas remained silent. I don't need a wishy-washy man like this.
That's fine with me. Or you'll regret it, I said. What are you saying? I won't,
Jill said with a victorious laugh. And like that, Thomas and I decided to divorce. 2 months later, after that night, Thomas quickly moved out of our house and began living with Jill. This house was actually originally under Thomas' name. But Jill said, even if it's the house, we'll give you everything you want. Just divorce him quickly. So I was given the house without any trouble. I was a bit confused about the divorce process at first. But I was able to get everything together and even claimed alimony from them. She says she would do anything to be with him. As I was wondering how I will be receiving the alimony, I received a call from an unknown number. Hello? I'm sorry. Forgive me. It was Jill's voice. I never told her my number, so she must have found it in Thomas's contact list. But why would she suddenly... could she have reached her limit? Thinking about that possibility, I laughed. What's this about? I asked her with a smile. I didn't know. Why do Tom's feet smell so bad? When we first met, they weren't that bad. Hearing how painful Jill's voice sounded because of Thomas's smelly feet, I couldn't help but laugh. And he talks in his sleep and snores so loudly. Even earplugs aren't enough. I haven't been able to sleep at all. After Jill expressed the struggles she had experienced the past 2 months, I laughed and said, I was the same. He keeps buying things through mail order and wearing expensive clothes that don't suit him or his job. He's so irresponsible with money. If it's like this, there's no way we'll be able to pay the alimony. What the hell? I feel like I've stepped on a landmine. I couldn't hold myself back anymore. I burst out laughing loudly. After about a year of being married, my husband got athlete's foot. And since then, his feet smell horribly. I've been buying him essential oils and alum water in order to somehow decrease the smell. As for the sleep talking, he's always done that. But the snoring has gotten worse recently since he gained weight. Nowadays, he sounds like a bazooka. I was worried about it as well. When they used to date, he was probably skinnier and maybe they never slept together. As for his spending, he's the type to buy things when he's tired or stressed. I've told him to be careful many times, but I usually have to watch over him carefully to make sure he doesn't buy too much. Since no one is stopping him now, I can only imagine how much he's buying. How strange. Well, I told you, didn't I? You'd regret it. If you knew, you should have told me. You weren't listening to me, I replied, making fun of her. You're the worst. You don't have the right to say that. When you were going after a married man, is really the worst. That's why I apologized. And I'm asking you to forgive me. Right. What do you mean by that? Why did you apologize? I will give Tom back to you. So please, forget what happened. I can't deal with this anymore. I burst out laughing again. She said she was ready to give up everything for him. But she could barely last 2 months. I'm good. I don't need him. Honestly speaking, my husband has many problems. And I've considered getting a divorce many times. But sleep-talking, snoring, having smelly feet, it's not like he's a bad person. Not that those are things he chose. And everyone has their own faults. If one is careful, they can stop spending problem too. It's a bit weird to say, but I was riding alone with him just fine. More importantly, he has a gentle personality, which is something I really liked since I'm a bit hot-tempered myself. I could get angry at him, but he was kind. His personality was good, so I could excuse his smells and noises. But one thing I couldn't forgive is cheating. So I don't care about him anymore. No way! But if I break up with him, I'll still have to pay you alimony. I hate this. Well, yeah. I laughed as Jill began to cry. Oh, yeah. Since we are on the topic of Tom's weak points, let me tell you the worst thing. What? I could tell how afraid Jill was from her voice. Christmas is just around the corner, right? I'm sure Thomas's family will all be getting together. So you should prepare yourself. Why? They are good people, but almost every single one of them snores loudly and has athlete's foot. There's a chance you could get athlete's foot from them as well. So be careful when you use the shower. Thomas also got it from our visit from his parents' house, though I've been doing my best to treat it since we noticed. I could hear Jill take in a sharp breath. Isn't it great that you threw away everything to be with Tom, just like you wanted? Congratulations. I congratulated Jill from the bottom of my heart and hung up the phone. How refreshing. Goodbye, smelly feet. Ciao, bazooka snoring. 5 years passed. Jill didn't want to be single and stuck with paying the alimony on her own, so she married Thomas. But less than 2 years later, they broke up. It must have been tough for Thomas to be thrown away by a woman for a second time, and he came back to me saying we should try again. But I ignored him. When money runs out, a relationship runs out. Once he finished paying off the alimony he owed me, I blocked his phone number. Using the money I received as alimony, I opened up my own aromatherapy school. While helping my husband with his smelly feet, I learned a lot about essential oils. It became a hobby of mine. So I thought this kind of work would be a perfect way to combine my interest and career. I've received good reviews, and my number of students increases every day. The other day, my school was even featured on TV. You really never know what you will accomplish in life. I never expected I would gain something from the effort I put into helping my husband with his feet. So I have to say I am pretty proud of myself. Thanks to that I am busy these days, but I am having fun working something I enjoy. Now then, let me get back to work.